Press TV's Top 5. The Syrian Army crosses the boundary of Raqqa province, the bastion of Daesh takfiri terrorists in the Arab country. Syrian Army has advanced into Raqqa province, which is a self-declared capital and a stronghold of the Daesh takfiri terrorists. Advancing Syrian troops were reportedly backed by Russian air power from neighboring Hama province. Troops have entered Raqqa province for the first time since the takfiri group unleashed its ferocious terror campaign in 2014. Damascus has given no indication of how many troops are involved in the latest offensive against Daesh. A London-based monitoring group has confirmed fierce fighting between Syrian government forces and Daesh. According to the so-called Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, dozens of terrorists have been killed in the battle. Crossing over to Belfast, joined by Saeb Sha'ath, author and Middle East expert. Thank you so much for being with us. Tell us about this now moving into Raqqa, the importance of this move by the Syrian military.
Friday evening, the Syrian Arab Army and their allies pushed back the takfiri terrorists east of town of Thuraya. And they took over so many strategic hills. This leads from Hama to the city of Tabaqa. And these top hills are strategic to control their logistic backup for the takfiri groups as well in there. But the decision for this operation and the planning for this operation is not just new. This is supposed to happen last February. The Syrian Arab Army was originally prepared to push that direction. But then they were planning that after on the back of liberating Aleppo. But what happened in there, the Russians were focusing out of Balamera, Tadmor, after that the victory in there, of pushing toward Deir ez-Zor to liberate Deir ez-Zor. This is created kind of differences between the Syrian Arab Army planners, strategic planners, and the Russian planners, who they seen different priorities. The Syrians wanted to liberate Aleppo first and then move to Tabaqa and then to liberate Raqqa, which is the capital of Daesh. The Russians seen at the time to take Deir ez-Zor, and from there, that's why we seen the Syrian suffered little bit in their war of liberation of Aleppo, since there wasn't that much of backing from the Russian side. But while Geneva and the ceasefire, of course, took place in the end of February, that's when the Syrian army ceased their operation of going toward Tabaqa. But the Russians as well discovered the whole thing in Geneva now is being deceived. They were deceived practically by the United States of America and the Saudis in a very kind of dirty tactics to try to deny the Syrian Arab Army their achievement, military achievement on the ground. And from there, the Russians understood they were counting and they were seeing, waiting to see the fruits and result from Geneva. It didn't materialize. And that's why now they are supporting the Syrian Arab Army to push toward Raqqa and to at least to take control of Tabaqa, the city of Tabaqa, at least 40 kilometers away from the capital of Daesh, Raqqa. And to the Syrian army trying now to achieve, at least to seize the areas around the city of Raqqa, and to deny the Americans, this is the interest of the Russians in here, to deny the Americans, they claim in the future that's them and their forces who managed to liberate most of the areas around the Raqqa, so they can win political and the propaganda war against the Arab Syrian Army and the Russians, as they the ones who really achieved a big blow against Daesh. And that's now why the Russian army sending their airplanes and forces, air power forces, to support the Syrians to take Raqqa. So to deny the Americans and the Kurdish forces, they're claiming they're the one who defeated Daesh in Syria.
Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Saeb Sha'ath, author and Middle East expert out of Belfast.